to Com Nation.
Characters. Who was trapped in the castle? Princess Cassie. And who was angry with her? The giant tree. Now, why trying
Atlanta called. There's a situation back in the States.
Where? You're kidding.
How long has it been since you were home?
A while.
We don't know what this is yet. The hospital is on it 24/7, and the CDC.
My name is Dr. Arcane. My team is here to find the source of this disease. What's the name?
You saw the body. Dealt with anything like that before?
Who are you again?
Holland.
Al Collin was investigating illegal dumping on the swamp.
Hello?
Dr. Jason Woodruff.
The CDC's in town. There's no way that my accelerant is responsible.
There's this poison coming off the swamp.
You should be dead! There's been a shift in the balance of the light and dark. Something's out there.
We're dealing with something beyond the known scope of science.
I need it alive to study.
There's all kinds of awful that happens in this swamp.
There's something special about this place.
There's so much unimaginable beauty out there, Abby.
The swamp's had enough. This is payback.
Hey, Todd, what are we doing tonight?
We're doing the classic Swamp Thing. The Bronze Age.
So, welcome to Com Nation,
Yeah.
and thanks for
guys.
coming. If you've
Thank
been
you.
here before, welcome back. And if you're brand new, we're glad you're here. What? Yeah, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a this, give us a that, hit the buttons, hit the this, hit the that. Go to our webpage, sign up for our mailing list, come be part of our Com Nation.
Yes.
Yep.
Join. Set down roots. Sorry, I just
Tonight
can't.
the jokes, they're not going to get better. Some of them are a bit evergreen.
But they might grow on you.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone, Todd. So it's October, and all October, or most of October, we've been talking about the monsters
Yes. The creatures.
and going back into a world where comics had monsters and horror. Frankly, the only horror comics I ever read were the romance ones, which were pretty freaking scary.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose Swamp Thing's both horrible and romantic, I suppose.
Yeah. Flowers. Muck monsters. It's all,
Nothing says I love you like a muck monster.
That's true.
So, tonight we're specifically focusing on Swamp Thing, the Bronze Age. If you'd like to play along,
Yeah.
and we hope you do, go to crowd.live/4. That's an O, not a 0, TCE, 4O TCE. And if you're watching this later on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook or something else, hey, Tuesdays at 9 Eastern, we're here. Where are you?
Doing the live
You can,
contest.
exactly.
Come play along. It's multiple choice.
And the rules of it are basically fairly simple. If you want to dig into them, and more power to you if you do, go to the combination website and give us a read. But past that, come on. First answer, etc.
Yeah.
You know. But hey, we're multiple choice, so what could possibly go wrong?
Right. You got a 1 in 4 shot. Every single question.
And I believe in you.
Yes.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
get started.
That's
Swamp Thing, right?
Swamp Thing.
You make my heart sing.
You make everything green.
We got the countdown.
Your first question.
Mm-hmm.
When did it all begin?
First appearance of Swamp Thing was
The House of Secrets.
specifically House of Secrets number 92. This image is actually taken from the cover of House of Secrets number 92. It's kind of famous.
Yes.
And the House of Secrets,
Infamous Bernie Wrightson art, which is
always good.
always good.
But House of Secrets was several mystery, fantasy, horror comics anthologies published from DC Comics. It had several different runs. This was originally in
1975.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah.
And while in House of Mystery, if you chose that, good attempt. There was a companion series called House of Mystery.
Yes.
Oh, we were looking for House of Secret. No town. Now, you're familiar, Todd. The current Swamp Thing, for no additional points, the current Swamp Thing is?
You mean the person who is Swamp Thing?
Yes.
Is Alec Holland, the guy who was on the show. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But who was the first Swamp Thing? Because it wasn't Alec Holland.
No, it was not. Different Alec.
Mm-hmm. The first Swamp Thing in the first Swamp Thing story was Alex Olson.
Yes.
And in the first Swamp Thing, Alex Olson, he was a brilliant young scientist, as you do, in the very, very early years of the 20th century. So,
Yeah, it was the classic kind of gothic setting.
Mm-hmm.
Wore the fancy cravats and, drank port wines.
As you do. I mean, that's like a typical Saturday night for Todd, but
Yeah.
But then,
exactly.
that wasn't the Alec Holland that we know traditionally to be the current Swamp Thing.
He was just
But then Alex Olson died.
Yes. Killed, actually.
And who killed him?
Damien Thorne?
It was not Damien Thorne.
No, that's the Antichrist.
Yes. So, I mean, I suppose Damien Thorne, in his way, tried to kill him, tried to kill everybody.
The devil made him do it?
Yeah. Exactly. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
This is the quality humor you get. Please make sure you come back next week. Please. Damien Ridge. Now,
Yes.
Damien Ridge. Tell us about Damien Ridge if you can. Todd?
Well, so he and Alex kind of worked together. He was technically Alex's assistant in all the
Lab assistant in the laboratory, yeah. But he was jealous of Alex in all ways. Alex was smarter.
Yes.
Alex was had this chemical solution. It was going to be fabulous. It was about to work.
Yes. And Damien Ridge wanted the
All of
success.
that.
And Alex's wife, too. Because, Gothic triangles.
That always works out well.
Yeah. Because in this story, he was actually married.
So, what's Alex Olson's wife's name? Is it Elizabeth Olson, Jamie Olson, Linda Olson, or Susan Olson? It's Linda.
Linda.
So, Linda Olson was not involved necessarily in her husband's murder, but,
No.
But maybe she knew about it. Maybe she didn't. Read the book, find out.
Yeah.
Again, when we were saying, hey, I suppose in a way there's a romantic element to Swamp Thing.
Mm-hmm.
We were wrong. But
because that's how most of those classic Gothic horror things did. It was, the heart of the monster. Who really is the monster? Is it the thing shuffling around in the shadows? Or is it the guy standing next to you that looks like he's normal?
I'm going to default to the monster is your ex-wife, Todd. The monster is your ex-wife.
Yes. Talk about something scary.
But Swamp Thing,
Mm-hmm.
there's been Swamp Thing's movies, right?
There have been, yes. Because it's popular property.
How many times has Swamp Thing been made into a theatrical film? Twice. For no additional points. What years?
The first Swamp Thing came out in 1982, followed by a sequel,
In
appropriately titled
1989.
The Return of Swamp Thing. Dun, dun, dun. He came back.
Which is the one with Adrienne Barbeau in it.
That was the original 1982 one. The Return is the one with Heather Locklear and was definitely done much more campy.
I believe they prefer to think of it as a lighter tone because, that fell in love with Swamp Thing.
Yes. Actually, the first one I think Wes Craven helped produce. But
I believe you're correct in that. I believe that Wes Craven wrote and directed the first Swamp Thing movie.
Yeah.
And
so they leaned into the horror side more.
Yeah. And then in 1989, I think they leaned more into the Heather Locklear side of it.
Yes.
So, but Louise Jourdan was in the Return of Swamp Thing. And that, oh my Lord.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely interesting.
Yes.
Let's go with interesting. That's the term I'm going to use.
Okay.
But then, in addition to the movies, there have been TV shows.
There have been.
And how many times has Swamp Thing been made into a live-action TV show?
Right, because there was actually a cartoon, I think, once too. But that we're not going to.
And then he's been. I think he's also made appearances in certain things.
Mm-hmm. But ironically, he had 2 TV shows too.
Twice. So 2 movies and 2 TV shows. The first one was in 1990. So, first they did the 2 movies, and then about a year after the second movie or so, Swamp Thing debuted on the USA Network in 1990.
Yep.
That lasted 3 seasons, and I think there are about 70 or so episodes.
Yep.
And
still
that one,
that kind of lighter tone, if you will.
Yeah. And I think Sci-Fi Channel was playing it for a while.
Yeah.
But then in 2019, the clip that we showed at the top of the show, the DC Universe made a version in 2019.
Yes. Leaning a lot heavier into the traditional.
aspect of it, which we're responsible. Crystal Reed played Abby Arcane in that.
Mm-hmm.
And about 10-20 minutes after its debut in May 31st, it was canceled.
Yeah.
Lasted 10 episodes, maybe.
Yeah, they got 10 episodes filmed before they got lopped off.
But
yeah.
So you should too. So maybe try to check it out if you can, but above all, read the book because it's where it all came from.
Yeah, and the book's so much more fun.
Well, we think so.
Exactly.
Now, the story of the book and Swamp Thing traditionally, where is he based? All I'm going to say is if Swamp Thing was based in Florida, no one will notice.
Right.
Florida man lives in the swamp. Well, of course he does. He's a Florida man.
He's
What
Florida.
are you expecting?
Or else it's a reality show based on my ex-wife, who was a Swamp Thing. Oh.
But yeah, Louisiana, born on the bayou, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. As a matter of fact, I think they used that as the theme song on the TV show.
Maybe not. I don't know about the TV show, but I know the 1989 movie they had Creedence Clearwater Revival playing "Born on the Bayou" at certain points. They leaned into that. So yeah, and they also in the various Swamp Things they've leaned into a lot of traditional Louisiana folklore, le bon gumbo, etc.
Yes.
Good Gumbo Man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okra.
What was that?
Little okra thrown in for good reason. Yeah.
But yeah, if it was Florida, North Carolina was where the most recent Swamp Thing was filmed, but even it was set in Louisiana.
Yes. I wonder if they built their own swamps.
I think they actually have swamps in other places. Good. So what is the name of the formula that Alec Holland is working on? Alex Olson was working on a formula at one point, we remember.
But this
Alex Holland, yeah. Alex Holland is working on a similar but different kind of formula.
Yes.
And the name of the formula is the Biorestormative.
Hmm.
So the Biorestorative formula was a chemical compound developed by the husband and wife team of Alec and Linda Holland. Now, Linda Olson, okay, bear with me a moment. It was Alex Olson and his wife, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Alec Holland and his wife, Linda. Moral of the story, don't marry Linda. Linda is bad. Bad.
Oh. Or if you're a Linda, don't marry a guy named Alex that works in a swamp.
Or
just stay out of the swamp.
Or don't marry Linda. Linda is bad.
There's some good Lindas in the world, aren't
Bad
there?
Linda. Linda is bad. Bad Linda. If your name is Linda and you're a decent human being, I most heartily apologize. Anyway.
History of bad Lindas.
So, Alec and Linda, they're working on this. They're working on the biorestorative formula.
Yes.
Super duper high secret, top secret, highest of high clearances. So high that they decide, what a great idea. Let's go do our work in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Where there's no one around for miles.
Truly secret laboratory.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And they put who in charge of their security? Matt Cable.
Yes.
Suffice it to say, Matt Cable might be looking for a new job at the end of the, at a certain point in the book, or is he?
Hmm.
And Todd, who is Matt Cable anyway? He's a lieutenant, technically.
Yeah, and he worked in. Was he part of? I can't remember now. Was it CIA?
I think he was part of the Army, and then he transferred over to that. But suffice it to say, there's some holes in that security, Matt.
Yeah.
That
is not his best work.
Yeah. Takeaways: don't date Linda. If you date her, don't marry her, and don't let Matt do your security.
Yeah. They're the Pinkertons.
Not even sure the Pinkertons are an option. Hire the 18. There you go.
There you go.
Because, Alec Holland and his wife and his lab are attacked. They're attacked.
Yes. They're attacked by a pair of goons.
And the pair of goons are named?
Itchy and Scratchy? No.
No. So they're Ferret and Bruno.
Right.
And Maxwell Ferret and Bruno, well, we don't talk about Bruno.
No.
They first appeared in Swamp Thing in November 1972.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah,
they were bad guys.
They were. As are most of the duels that we gave you.
They got through. Matt Cable's so awesome security precautions.
Mm-hmm.
Which is I think he put a lock on the door. I forgot to shut it. But they worked for someone specific.
They did. As most goons do.
Well, a lot of goons are not self-starters. So
Yeah.
Bruno and Ferret worked for who?
Mr. E.
Yeah.
Well, that is the question.
And the E stood for Mr. E. Get it?
Uh-huh.
Nathan Ellery.
Yes.
So Nathan Ellery is not just the hirer of the goons, he was the head of a criminal organization.
As typically these type of guys are.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he wanted to get a hold, he either wanted to get a hold of the formula or he didn't want the formula to come out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to know more, kind of fun.
You thought it was just about plants.
And what?
Most people think it's just about plants, but there's all this intrigue and corporate espionage
and plants.
Yes.
So they said, we're gonna blow up the lab. It's gonna be great. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Initially though, Mr. E, he was after the Holland. But then, yeah. But anyway, as we said, Mr. E was head of an evil organization.
Right. Which tends to be typical of these sinister masterminds.
Yep.
Spectre, Thrush.
So it wasn't, yep. He was head of the conclave, not to be confused. There's a couple different conclaves kicking around. This is not the conclave of 12. That's a ruling governmental body that runs one of the cities of Atlantis that I can't pronounce.
Yes.
His conclave They were bad guys.
They were.
Yeah. And the Cabal is from Blacklist. Camarilla is from Motherlands. And the Circle.
The Circle is this mysterious thing. Looks kind of like Google Corporation, but is not. In a movie that starred Tom Hanks and Emma Watson. You decide who's really the sinister one.
I think Emma Watson is sinister in everything she does, but that's me.
Oh, sorry.
And Emma, if you're watching this, hey. Now, if you're thinking it's sad and lonely to be the Swamp Thing, you're probably right. But he has a dog. And what's his dog's name?
It's just about a plant and his dog.
So, his dog's name is Mutt. Hot Dog was the name of the dog from which comic series?
The Archies. It's Jughead's dog.
And Ace and Crypto. If you want to know more about those fellas, and we hope you do, please check out our video about
Tales of the Super Pets. Get it? Tales?
Bad Linda. Bad Linda. Linda is bad. Stay away from Linda. Yes. And also, if you're Swamp Thing, be careful with cats because they can get a little bitey.
Yeah, obviously doesn't know Streaky.
But Mutt first appeared in the very first Swamp Thing _1, and he actually appeared. He made it to the most recent TV series.
Yeah.
But he wasn't called Mutt in that one. Todd, for no additional points, what was Swamp Thing's dog renamed in the most recent TV series?
Garou.
Good job.
Which is a good name for a dog from the bayou, I suppose.
Garou. So, Swamp Thing is connected to all plant life on Earth somehow.
Yes.
And he's connected. Well, see, here's the thing. Swamp Thing, he's an elemental creature.
Yes.
And he shares a connection to all plant life through a network called the Green.
Right.
And that's part of, again, read the book a lot, read other books, but it's like that's one of the founding things. It's not just, they got, they started. He's connected to something, a power force.
Mm-hmm.
And DC Comics, which Swamp Thing is part of, they like doing this. They have the green, which is all forces of nature. They have the black, which is,
death and decay.
Okay. They have the red, which was all animal life. They have the clear, which is all aquatic life. So Aquaman's hooked up with that.
Mm-hmm.
They have the gray, which is connected to all fungal life and Todd's ex-wife. They have the melt, which is, the earth elementals, and the dividend, which is all bacteria, amoebas, and other microscopic forms of life. I mean,
yeah.
In the DC universe, there's a lot of different elementals going through it. It's kind of fun. And Swamp Thing, he's managed to hook into the green.
Yes. Tapped into the root, if you will, of it all.
Jokes aren't getting any better. Now, if you're familiar with Swamp Thing, and you might be, but you should read the book, he's got an arch enemy. An arch enemy!
Yes. Someone truly, truly sinister.
And that is Anton Arcane.
Mm-hmm.
You thought it was going to be Bad Linda, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, again, Anton Arcane, he showed up in Swamp Thing #2.
Yeah.
And
he's also the one that's played by Louis Jordan in the films.
Exactly. And if you'll notice in the clip we showed in the beginning, Abby Arcane.
Yes.
Abby Arcane is his niece.
I believe so, yes. I believe that's the current running. Yeah.
Yeah. It's traditionally his niece, and she's not a bad guy. She's a good guy.
Now, she obviously was an apple from a different tree.
Yeah, she is actually technically, I believe, Anais. Anais' daughter, because Anais is Anton's sister. But again, somebody in the Arcane family needs to buy a baby name thing and come up with some different names. That would be good, y'all.
Aloysius Arcane, Alphonse Arcane.
Alan Arcane.
I love him. He's a great actor.
Okay. Tonight we're talking about something deep in the bayous of Louisiana, far from civilization's grasp, but not far from our bad jokes. A shadowed creature seen only fleeting glimpses, royals, the black waters, a twisted, vegetative mockery of a man. A swamp thing. You thought it was going to be Todd. So, Swamp Thing was created by writer Len Wein and artist Bernie Wrightson.
Yes.
And this shambling, muck-encrusted figure swiftly became one of DC Comics' most iconic characters. When was basically one of the stars of the Bronze Age of comics. And Swamp Thing's shocking stories have become classics in the Gothic horror genre. And now, in the Bronze Age collection, all of the legendary early adventures are presented in a comprehensive edition. So,
good read for a spooky night.
Yeah. Len Wein began his comic career 40, 50 years ago, a while.
And he's done a lot.
He was editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. He worked for Disney Comics. He worked at Top Cow, Image. And of course,
yep.
What?
And the senior editor at DC.
Yep. He was obviously co-creator of Swamp Thing, Human Target, Brother Doodoo, who we touched on when we did Doctor Strange, Wolverine. You might have heard of him, right? And he was involved with the new X-Men.
Yeah.
And I believe he did a treatment for one of the Swamp Thing movies, but don't quote me on that one. I don't know that one to be. I don't know that one to be true. But Bernie Wrightson, Bernard Albert Wrightson, Bernie to his friends, was an artist known for co-creating the Swamp Thing, and known for his work on Frankenstein and other horror comics and illustration. And he's just got that beautiful pen and brushwork, and was just a really nice guy, and we miss him.
Yes.
So yeah, Swamp Thing, go check out the Bronze Age. We recommend it.
Good read.
And speaking of us, who no one was, Baltimore ComicCon
coming up the end of the month, right before Halloween. Speaking of scary,
we're doing not one but 2 live panels at Baltimore ComicCon. I know you're very excited about this. And we're not going to broadcast them. No. So you actually have to come to Baltimore and come to the show and buy a ticket and come find us and, sit in a very hot, sticky room and yay, then there will be live and in person.
Yeah.
So
lots of interesting trivia, probably air conditioning, same bad jokes.
Maybe Wi-Fi. Who knows? There wasn't last year when we did it. And Todd, anybody else going to show up at Baltimore? Besides us?
Minor folks like Jim Lee and Frank Miller and 4 Disney princesses and John Leguizamo. Not that we're talking about Bruno because we still don't. But
Jill Thompson, Ron Mars, Jamal Igle,
Jim Starlin, Garth Ennis, Mike Grell, Jerry Ordway, Mark Wade.
And yeah, we might actually hit some of those folks up to do some trivia in the future. So if there's anybody on your wish list that you want us to sort of pull into our little group,
Or if there's a
into our
book of theirs
people.
you really like that you'd like us to talk about, you can
Let us know.
drop us a note. Shoot us an
'Cause
email.
next week we're doing Black Adam and ISIS. Oh, mighty ISIS!
Because yeah, I hear there's this little movie coming out. Might be something.
Yeah, and as you know, and
Little
again,
indie
if you've
films.
seen, and you should go see, we've been doing all of the characters of the Justice Society of America who will be, and in addition to a Justice Society book, because from the trailers it looks as though that's who Black Adam is going to fight. Next week, the Black Adam and ISIS book, we're going to be doing that. You might want to check it out if you're the type to,
Part of the Justice Society saga.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But tonight's winner is
Ta-da.
Mary. Good job.
Oh. Back with a vengeance. Good job, Mary.
Yay. So, hey.
And the loser of the week is Linda.
Go marry Linda, okay?
Bad Linda.
Bad Linda. 4 times its wife. Anyway, like, follow, subscribe. We're on every media I can think of and a couple. Well, yeah. Go to the website.
Check us out. And
Join
be sure
our
to-
mailing list. Send us an email. And above all, keep reading comics. We hope to see you at Baltimore Con. We hope to see you next week. We hope you're having an awesome night. We hope you're having an awesome week.
Yes.
All right.
Good night.
Thank you. We appreciate your time. Bye.
Bye.